Hello, Internet. This is Z Schrodinger's cat, and we're here in a flat world, whole new, brand new world. What are we doing? I don't really know. I got this idea the other day of doing a thing, like a new kind of series where I just do build challenges, like to kind of stretch myself and just sort of like I don't know, force me to build things in ways that I haven't before. So I got this idea where I take a word from a random word generator that I have online, and eventually maybe I'll put that in the video, but I can't be asked to figure out how to do that right now. For the sake of this video, which may not even go up, I've got this 63 by 63 square in here, and when the word that basically this random word generator generates me 6 random words, and I pick one of the 6, and the word that I have selected from these 6 and was generated to me is waveform. And the idea is that I'm supposed to build this thing in the square based on that concept, and I don't know, I'll just gonna see how it goes. I forgot to mention in the intro that I am playing a modified version of the Builder's Dreams pack that's by Iscali5 Dev. I know there's like 5 of them with that name, but that's the one I'm using, modified. I picked this pack because I already owned a server that had the pack on it. So there's a bunch of random shit on here, like wrong options, mod options. Like we got custom NPCs in here somewhere. You can pause the video if you want to see all the mods. Yeah, we got custom NPCs. We got fast leaf decay. We got immersive engineering. We got a bunch of random shit. But that's because I had a server already built for it, and I said, fuck it, why not? Why not do this for my build challenge? This is not really turning out really as planned. This right now I'm thinking. The thing is waveform. So my idea and my concept is that we, is that we have a wave, of water and shit, and then we add like electricity around it. Because I mean, waveform in terms of science is the mathematical of a wave stuff. Google it. I'm not a teacher, and I really should never be. I generally tend to confuse more than I educate, so if you're confused as to what a waveform is and why it would involve electricity and water, then I can't help you. I'm of no use in that department. But I'm gonna try and make this wave like crashing over here and stuff. I don't know. I might need to fuss with this a little bit. The brush that I'm using here, I have World Edit, is brush sphere 95.3. That's cyan glass in size of 1, and then I put on mask of air. And if you're a World Edit nerd like me. Alright, I've started to get this thing a little bit more worked out. It still looks pretty bad, I'll be honest. It looks just like I made a diagonal wall with World Edit. But that's okay, we'll keep working on it. I have the whole this layer, and then I'm bringing up this layer underneath. So I'm kind of like folding 2 things together to make the shape and whatnot. I'm still working on this. Just wanted to come in and show you my progress. I am going a little bit over the line, a little bit, but that's okay. It's my series. I do what I want. I finished the thing. Well, it still just looks like somebody had some fun with the World Edit brushes. I'll be perfectly honest, but that's just the first kind of step a little bit. This ground situation needs to be dealt with. But right now, let's put size as 0 and let's do material. What's blue? 11? Is 11 blue glass? I think so. Maybe potentially. Oh right, mask. 95.3? There we go. And maybe we come down here and we add some blue to the situation to kind of give it some shadows and whatnot, especially on the inside where there would be a bunch of shadows. You know what I mean? This is taking a while. I'm gonna try and layer this in, try and make it look a little more natural. what I'm trying to do here is get it like in the cracks. Now, as soon as I came down, I was just spamming it right here. But you know, a lot of times when you're doing organic stuff like this, you only start realizing the patterns that you want to do after you've already started doing it a little bit. You kind of get in the groove and you kind of notice what looks good and what doesn't. Right now, I'm trying to get it into the cracks because naturally speaking, a waveform would, or a wave in the water would probably be darker in the, you know, not at the, it would be very bubbly. But the water at the top would be lighter and stuff. That was an excellent explanation. I'm great with words. Time to do the opposite of what we did before, which is add highlights. This glass is actually a lot brighter than I expected it to be. I mean, obviously it's white glass. Like, what did I expect? I don't know. But it is very, very, do we have flat colored blocks in this pack? Actually, I'm kind of liking how that is. Those little specks of white there. Maybe I'll put a few down here, like, just trying to get like the foam effect on the surface here. It's hard with glass and all this because you kind of have to look at it from all angles to see how it looks because it's translucent, so it shows through to other layers of glass. But it's, you know, it's a life. It's a life. I'm basically trying to do the opposite. Before I was trying to darken the sort of concave surfaces, and now I'm trying to highlight the stuff that points out, that comes out at you. I think part of the problem is this top bit of wave needs more volume or something. Let's see. And let me just get the rest of the shadows on here. It's a lot of just like looking at which areas seem. So it's a lot of looking and just random kind of, you know. You sort of spot them around, and if something doesn't look right, you remove it. But most of the times, it's just sort of following your heart. Follow the dreams and believe in the heart of the cards, kids. That's how you do organics. You just gotta believe in yourself and, of course, the heart of the cards, naturally speaking. You know what I hate is when I'm 2 or 3 minutes into a clip and that's like been super good, like everything's on point. I said exactly what I want, exactly how I want it to sound, and then at the end it just kind of fucking falls apart like bacon, like really crispy bacon. It just falls apart, and you're like, well, that started amazing and ended terribly. Should I use it because the average case is normal? Or should I just try again to repeat what I did? And usually it ends up in a rambling tangent like this. I put in the highlights here for this thing with the glass, and now it's looking better than terrible, which is good. I have also started to add these cloud blocks. These are from Chisel, because I wanted to add more body and stuff, like have this be more. I'm really avoiding the word girthy, but it's kind of like an apt word. You know what I mean? Like, you see waves and you get the sense of fluff, whereas before I was seeing, like, I don't know. It still looks a little off to me. I think because this white part here should be lower, but I'm not sure about making this thicker than it already is. It's already pretty thick. And I'm also not really sure what to do about this angle, like this view in here, because it's kind of the model is a cross section, and then it just kind of stops. Like, naturally speaking, if I weren't specifically doing this in, you know, giving myself a 63 by 63 blocks, I would expand it further and have like a big long wave, and then it would collide with a shore or something. But I don't really have that ability, so I guess I'll have to figure out what to do with that later. I am a little bit off-put by the fact that this is super green, and I think it'll look better if I remove what is down there. Let's see. Through. Will you let me through? You will let me through. What level is this? Level 4. That means we only have about 2 blocks to remove because one is bedrock. How many blocks do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we want to leave this open to the void? Probably. I like the void. You will notice if you follow my channel that I frequently feature the void and holes to the void in a relatively varying level of gaping holes to the void. And wait. That's the block I want to remove. Did I set first position? Yes. Set 0? There we go. That's a little better, and it's also super weird. Let's undo that. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm in here, and I'm down here, and I have the bedrock here, but I don't want to leave it bedrock. I'm thinking first position. One of these is already set, but whatever. Set it again for blindness sake. What's lapis blocks? Is 22. Set 22. That should do. I swear. Let me through. Yeah, that'll do. That's a good bottom for it. I want to come down here and... Excuse me. Let me through! There you go, finally. That wasn't so hard, was it? Alright, set material 9515, I think is black. Mask 0, size 1. I want to add like a second wave, like a secondary wave in here, just to add shadows and stuff. I don't want to put black in the waves because I don't want to desaturate the color, but I do want to add some shadows in here. So I'm hoping that maybe adding like a big black blob will provide that service. Alright, that looks not great. It looks okay. Alright, it's okay. But what I think it needs to be is more universally distributed throughout this thing, but potentially like in streaks, like that, and like have the lapis behind it be kind of more blended into it a little bit, so there's not such a harsh line where the black stops. I think that's part of the problem. But I do like the shadow effect that it gives. Maybe if we kind of pull these through, we'll get a general sense of what it would look like this. The other thing I thought about trying was layering some cyan glass on top of this, because it would kind of bridge the two colors. Yeah, I think that works. The glass is glitching out a little bit, but I think that works. I'll do that on the other side too. Alright, I did the cyan thing and it made it worse. Maybe put the black back on top of the cyan? Maybe if we just layer enough shit on here, it'll look good. So, material back to 9515. Let's see what happens when we put the black back, but on top of the cyan now. So it's sort of like cyan-y black, in a way. It's getting really difficult to move around in here, I'll tell you. I have to do a lot of punching glass and screaming and demanding that the universe let me pass through these terrible barriers of glass sadness. Coming through. I don't need to be super precise with this. Part of the problem is it's flat, so I think I'm gonna peek in through here. It's gotten I think we've gotten to the point where it's the bottom is gonna be nearly unseeable, but it's sort of just like mixing colors and trying to create effects through adding series of opaque textures on top of each other. I love working with glass. It's so nice, especially the stained. I mean, I don't think I've used the unstained glass in like since stained glass came out, basically. I'll try to make it a little pokier, because it was maybe like twisting little stick-ups. I don't know, like that, like bubbling, kind of like it's sort of the undertow of the wave or whatever those special water nerd terms are. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of this mess. See, this is the problem. This is the problem with this. Okay, we're up again, and it looks better? I can't tell if that's better or worse. The texture glitching is not helping at all. Is there an Optifine setting that does the glass stuff? Optifine custom. I should probably do this off camera. Alright, I fixed the problem but with the glitchy textures, but I think the problem is that this upper part is too see-through, so it looks weird when all this not see-through stuff is on top. So I'm gonna brush, no wait, I already did the brush. Material, 95, 9. I think I'm just gonna fill this the hell up with cyan glass and see what happens. I filled it up, and the texture glitches are back for some reason, even though I didn't change any settings, and before they weren't back. But that's fine. It looks fine, and it's good. Filling it with the cyan was a good move, and the black too. It gives it some color too, instead of just being the same hue. There's some different hues in there to emphasize also the different tones. There's a difference between hue and tone. Tone is darkness, and hue is where it stands on the color rainbow thing. So you want both changes, you want changes in hue, you want shadows and highlights. You want changes in tone, you want shadows and highlights, you want changes in hue, you want to cross the rainbow to add interest. And that was probably the most confusing thing I've ever tried to say about art, but whatever. Right now, I think the wave is pretty much done. At least I can't think of anything else I would add to it that I don't want to add too much to it and make it look like mono wave. So it looks fine right now. It looks good. I like how it turned out. But that's just the first part of what I need to do. My word was waveforms, not waves. So I want to be more specific. And the way I want to do that is I want to illustrate there are waveforms both in water and in electricity. So I want to add some sort of electrical component. So my challenge is A, find a way to make something look like electricity, and B, find a way to make something look like electricity and also not like urine. I hate it. Well, on the plus side, it doesn't really look like urine, based on, like, how fluid would spurt, but it also doesn't look like lightning. It looks like shit. I don't know. It looks bad, but maybe we can add to it. Maybe we can add to it to make it better. I got, what do I got? I got white stained glass. White stained glass, make it any better? Maybe if I like line it and like kind of like mist or light around the things and such. Potentially, maybe. I mean, it has to get better from here, doesn't it? Is that any good? It actually is. Like, covering each of the surfaces in a white glass block actually does look kind of cool. I'll follow that through. Now it looks like somebody took a bunch of spaghetti and like saran wrapped each individual noodle and then kind of like arranged them like a flower bouquet. Let's try adding some more of these crystals, like little blobs. I don't know what I'm doing. When in doubt, just add blocks until your brain knows what to do. Eventually something will work out. I mean, typically, there is a maximum size to a Minecraft world. It's some big giant integer or whatever. So technically, there is a finite number of combinations of blocks possible in a Minecraft world. Now, we can limit that down even more, considering we're roughly in 63 by 63 rectangular pyramid. So there's definitely a finite number of things I can put into this, and like monkeys on a typewriter, I shall eventually type out Shakespeare. What the actual hell am I doing? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll try and make water splash? Maybe splash around the lightning? I don't have no idea what I'm doing. I feel like a cat who's just found a shiny thing. It doesn't know what to do with it. I don't know. Come on, work with me here. The wave was easy. The wave turned out good, and I got confident. And now this stupid lightning thing is here, and it looks like spaghetti wrapped in saran wrap, and now it looks like spaghetti wrapped in bubble wrap. So bubble wrap is superior to saran wrap, so I guess it has improved in that respect. But as far as building resembling lightning is concerned, it could use some work, and I don't know what to do. That looks a little better. Uh, should I, I don't know, man. What do I do? Now that actually looks pretty freaking cool, if I have to say so myself. One flaw, it's a little bit two-dimensional. But whatever. Next time, I'll do things differently. I added a little bit more of the branching. Like, these white things, I have it branching like the yellow spaghetti does. And that helps a lot. It looks like electrical sparks. Makes it look more like a spark and less like a bunch of spaghetti. I also added this swirly swirl cloud thing around it to sort of give it some more volume in general and kind of emphasize that it's kind of stormy and movement and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I turned it to thunder for this, and the weather definitely helps a lot. I think that might be it for this build challenge. We have accomplished our task. We have a wave with lightning coming out of it, and I think it looks pretty good. It was struggling a little bit on that. It was struggling a little bit for a hot second there, but I think we managed to do it. So I'm gonna have to say good day to you, internet, and thank you for watching. Keep an eye out for more build challenges because this was a lot of fun.